Hello and welcome to the programme. Iranian officials say close to a dozen projectiles have struck the strategically important island of Qeshm and that explosions have been heard. Well, Qeshm is a commanding location in the Strait of Hormuz and Iranian forces use it as a base. Iranian state media confirmed military sites were also hit in Bandar Abbas. US Central Command says it hit around 140 Iranian military targets earlier on Sunday. It was the third attack in a week. Iranian state television says explosions were heard in Bushehr and Usaluya, and the port cities of Sirik and Chabahar were also hit too. Well, earlier air defence systems were activated in at least 4 Gulf countries in response to Iranian drones and missiles. Qatar says its armed forces intercepted missiles over the capital Doha. The United Arab Emirates, Kuwait and Bahrain also intercepted missiles and drones fired from Iran. Kuwait says Iranian drones targeted 3 border posts and an oil platform, wounding 1 person. Iran's Revolutionary Guards also say they struck Oman and Jordan. Well, let's now go live to Resul Serdar, who is in Tehran for us. And Resul, Qeshm Island, it is a strategically important place for the Iranians. Just talk us through what we know and what exactly Iran says has been hit.
Well, the Iranians are confirming now that there have been attacks on Qeshm Island and Bandar Abbas. Indeed, the governor of Qeshm Island said that at least 10 to 12 projectiles hit some military sites in the island. So when we're talking about Bandar Abbas and Qeshm Island, these are strategically located places. So Bandar Abbas is hosting Iran's largest port, and it is extremely important for import and for the exports. It's an economic lifeline of Iran. Then Qeshm Island is the largest island in the entire Persian Gulf. And in these 2 places, so there are IRGC's naval forces being based, and also these 2 places are hosting the radars, the telecommunication towers, and so on. But both of them are overseeing the Strait of Hormuz. So having a full control over these 2 locations is extremely important for Iran. But that is exactly the reason that is making these 2 locations the target for Americans repeatedly, because Americans believe that by targeting these 2 locations, they are reducing the capacity of the IRGC. So as of now, what we know that these have followed by the largest wave of attacks carried out by the United States on Sunday after midnight. More than 140 locations in 5 provinces were hit, and then as a result, Iranians saying that they also have conducted their largest wave of attacks since the memorandum of understanding was signed. They targeted American military assets in 5 countries, but Oman particularly here is important because for the first time we're hearing that the Iranian armed forces are confirming that they have attacked a U.S. military asset in Oman. Oman has been one of the main mediators between the 2 parties and also holds several rounds of the talks there. And now IRGC saying that the Strait of Hormuz is closed, while Americans are demanding an immediate reopen of the strait.
Resul, you were just talking there briefly about diplomatic solutions. Let's not forget the past 2 days we're reporting here on Al Jazeera that negotiators were speaking to counterparts across the Gulf. Where does that leave any sort of diplomatic resolution, and does the memorandum of understanding feel like a distant memory now?
Well, the hopes about the diplomatic success are fading. So we have heard the reports of progress during the meetings that took place yesterday between the Iranian foreign minister and his Omani counterpart. But just hours after that meeting, so IRGC has attacked 2 ships, and they're saying that these ships were passing through the Strait of Hormuz illegally because the Iranians believe that any ships that's not in coordination with the Iranian authorities are having an illegal activity. And then the Speaker of the Parliament and Iranian chief negotiator Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf said that the era of one-sided deals is over, so keep your words or you're going to pay the price. And the United States clearly is announcing the end of the ceasefire. And the problem now is that neither side is showing any flexibility. Iranians are saying that the 5th article of Memorandum of Understanding gives Iran the right to be the sole controller over the Strait of Hormuz, and they are saying they're not going to give up on the Strait of Hormuz. They're not going to let any ship pass through the Strait of Hormuz if they are not in coordination or not getting approval from the Iranian side. And Americans, on the other hand, are saying that they are not going to give the control of the Strait of Hormuz to Iran. So the things are quite stuck here. And the question is, of course, if Iran keeps attacking the ships, and in retaliation, if Americans keep attacking Iran, then what will happen to the prospect of renewed negotiations? So largely the memorandum of understanding is undermined. It's extremely difficult now to talk even about whether there is a memorandum of understanding or not, because the developments on the field has already torn it apart.
Okay, Resul Serdar in Tehran for us. Thank you.